How's it going, everybody? I'm Slavinatorski, and welcome to the channel. And you're here because you want to see the Crocker, which I have right next to me. A little story behind him, though. So, this is the condition I got him in. We've all ordered things from AliExpress before, I'm assuming. So, box is pretty beat up. I'll show you on the table. Back there's the set, so you'll get an idea a little bit closer of what happened here. But I got it from Alina Toy Shop on AliExpress, and contacted them about the condition it's in. The figure's fine, but the box looks like someone played soccer with it. But contacted Alina. They offered me a $5 coupon to make up for it, and then I still have yet to receive even that coupon. So just, my experience, not saying good or bad, just saying my experience. You could probably make up your own opinion there. But we're going to get into this, check them out, get a close look at it. I've already inspected the figure. Like I said, it's fine. There's no real damage or anything like that, so I'm happy about that at least. But the package is kind of foobar. But let's hop into this. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to keep seeing more of this, because I keep making stuff, and I think everybody seems to like it. So let's get into it. See you shortly at the workbench. Here we are. So we'll take a closer look at the box. You'll see the damage. Kind of looks like somebody sat on it, sort of. Like I said before, this is from Alina Toy Shop, from AliExpress. So you kind of take your chances when you order stuff from them. Things do tend to get pretty beat up in transit. I told you earlier about my emails back and forth from them. But moving on, box is pretty cool. Got some cool stuff on it, but I mean, luckily, I was wanting to take this out of the box either way, so let's go ahead and do that. Box here, so you see just how big this cowboy is. Let me move some stuff out of the way. Alright, so, and sorry about all two things. First, you get, of course, the figure, all the accessories, and then underneath that you get another pack of accessories here. On top of that, this is pretty cool. It's a little bit heavy too, so I'm not happy about that. But like I said before, you take your chances. So I'll quit crying about it. Let's get this comic out of here. So it's just regular paper. It's not like your traditional comic paper, but get a bunch of goodies in there. I am wondering if they do have one of these that is translated to English, because that is all in Chinese, it looks like. So I'm sure there is a English version out there. It's probably because I got this off AliExpress that it's like that. He has some instructions here. So lift up the arms, the rear to get his waistcoat on and off. The chains, how they go together, where they can attach. The handcuffs can hang on the hook, made full accessories. So, cool. Got some extra goodies there. So here is the Crocker himself. So you're going to want to take these little things off and take a look at that. So what I'm going to do, instead of wasting your time, I'm doing that on camera. I'm going to do it off camera, set them up, and be right back. Alright, you'll see here that we went ahead and took up a little bit of a different angle. I put a box under here, put the tripod up. I need to buy a new tripod. This one's honestly just kind of getting old, and it's not very big. But it works well for my light cabinet. He's too big for my light cabinet. Trust me, I tried. So, let's take a good look at him here. I'll get the focus in order. See, the mouth does shut all the way. You'll also notice I switched out the neck. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. He does have a tail that goes in there. We'll show you that too. But awesome looking figure. So in the accessories, in the top part, oh, I almost forgot. He does have a little nose guard that he comes with. So in the top part, you're going to get, of course, his big old Bowie knife and his shotgun. We'll pull those out. And you also get 2 neck pieces. Sorry about the plastic. So, about the neck pieces. You have one to the left, or his right. You'll have one to the right. Come on. Focus. And now, of course, my camera wants to fight me. Excuse me. Be right back. Let me fix this. Okay. That autofocus is a pain in the butt no matter what camera you use. So, we're going to get his little protector off of there. And I'm knocking stuff down constantly. You notice I took his jacket off too. His little vest. So what happens is when you want to make it so he's looking left or right, because you don't get too much movement on the head. It doesn't really go left or right. Only a little bit goes up and down. You get some rotation, but you want to pop that head off. And you actually switch out his neck. Now I'm trying to do this without knocking down my little camera stand. So you see how these are. That is really bright, isn't it? Turn that down a little. So you see how these little clamps are in here? They actually fit in those grooves. So if you want him to look to the left or his right, you put that one on. If you want him to look to his left, you put that one on. Or I just prefer looking straight ahead. Which you just put that on, and the seam is there, but it does a pretty good job of hiding the seam, especially on the bottom. Now that being said, you'll see the peg here in the back of the head. There is a little bit of difference. Let me change the autofocus. Focus to me. There we go. See how much bigger the hole is here than on this one? This is the one that came installed. The first time you put his head in one of these, it's going to open up that hole a little bit and stretch the plastic. So the first time you do it, you might want to heat it up because it's a little bit of a pain to get the head in there. But I've already worked this one and loosened it up. So let's put the head back in. Let me do it off camera. It's kind of weird doing it like that. Put it back in. You have to put a little bit of elbow grease into it to get them in there. And there you go. Back. I'm going to put these back off to the side. You have his shotgun. Very basic, rudimentary, but doesn't need to be perfect. I like the worn paint scheme on it. Kind of a rust on the metal. I like that. Same with his Bowie knife. Looks very well used and worn. Blade looks kind of sharp. I mean, it's not, but it looks sharp. And then we go to his second bit of accessories here. So, second bit of accessories, you have the tail, hands, hat, a couple sheaths, and some other grippy things. Wow. Clasps or clamps, handcuffs, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to take those out so you don't have to deal with that plastic noise again, which I apologize for. And we'll be right back. Alright, I made a lot of noise with that plastic, so I'm glad I chose to do that. Sorry, I'm also a little sick, so my voice is... Alright, so we brought out all the accessories, so let's go over the hands. You get these really cool pointing hands, which look really good. I like the claws on them. These regular grippy hands, which are kind of trigger fingers, as well as these claw hands, which I really like these kind of. Where it looks like he's ready to grab something. Those look really good. Those are the different hands, so you'll see like his shotgun will go in his hand right here. Goes in pretty well. The Bowie knife will also go into his hand pretty well. Just like that. So you can have him hold these things however you want. few things there. Now the tail. Let's get into the tail. Let me change the focus. You'll see there's a few points of articulation. Not bad, so it can move a little bit. A little bit of rotation, not too much. But it plugs right into his booty. So back here, we're going to go ahead and flip him over, give him the tail that he is missing. And it's the same thing. It has one of those holes that needs to be worked in. So give me 1 second. I'll do it off camera. I'll be right back. All right. You notice I got the tail on there. It was an absolute pain in the butt. I highly suggest soaking it in warm water. What I did is I just trying not to make a mess here. Take a tub of warm water from the bathtub, put it in there, soak it for 30 seconds, and that's all you really need to do. But you're gonna have to put some elbow grease and some actual strength in getting that tail on there. It did not pop on for me; it just kind of was on there, but now it's actually on. So it looks good. It's kind of what you need to really get him to stand up the rest of the way. So keep that in mind. But we have some other accessories we'll go over here. Now you notice I popped his hands off. So let me change the angle from the camera and we'll get into the hands. I'm going to get a little up close so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so we're back and you'll notice I took his hands off. So we got his little shotgun hand. I just kind of left everything in his hands. I also have my tub back because I actually started filming this. And before I realized it, everything I'm going to suggest with him, you're going to want to soak it in hot water because it's all brand new. It all needs to be broken in. It's not like some figures where you can... I'm actually stirring these in the hot water right now. So it's not like some figures where you can kind of get away with it. What I've noticed with him is you're absolutely going to want to soak it all in hot water just to make sure. All right, so let me dab those a little bit. I guess they're not too cold. All right, put that away. So we have this pointer finger. Let's go ahead and pop that on there. They all have that little ring in there that needs to be broken in. And it's so much easier with the hot water. So you can make them kind of like, hey, like that. So kind of funny, but we're going to put the clawed hands on. And while doing that, I'm also going to show how these bracelets go on. They're a pair of iron shackles. Just put that on there like that. Grab the correct hand and put it on as well. And that's it. To put his iron shackles or his bracelets on, you're just going to put them on there before you put the hand back on. And there we go. Easier said than done, right? You kind of heard a little squishy noise when I put that hand there. But there we go. Now he's got his brackets on. Tail looks good. He's got his brackets. So far, so good. I like the pointer fingers, but they're very specific. With those grabby hands, you can kind of do whatever you want. So there's a couple more accessories. You also have his hat, which has a magnet in it. So you notice it sits on there pretty good. Like flip him upside down, the hat stays on. So there's a magnet in his melon for that hat to go on. I guess it looks best that way. So you have the little string that goes down and around, so let's go put his hat on. He looks good with his hat. We also have a couple extra accessories here. One thing I didn't show is when I took his jacket off. So for the jacket, you're going to want to rotate the hands around back. Actually, before I do that, let me do the... I'm going to show you the articulation. I know, I'm so professional, right? Because right here it's a little bit tough because just the sculpt, you hear a lot of stuff rubbing. But you can get it moving. There isn't much up and down, again, because of the sculpt. And it's the same on both arms. There is a very good bicep swivel. That thing swivels with no issue whatsoever. You got the little bit of a swivel down here on the elbow. The arm does go straight out. Knock this hat off. The arm does go straight out. You can get it pretty much at a 90 degree. And the wrist kind of rotates around. It moves a little bit. You can kind of see it there, but not terribly too much. We already went over the head, but his waist, you get some pretty good rotation. You can get mild bending. There, you can't see it too much, but you can get some mild bend because it is two pieces. There is not much sway side to side. He's a big boy, but you get a little bit. You do have, see the joints in there, get that rotation there. You can make the legs go just about all the way around. The legs have some pretty good articulation there. They don't go that far out. They honestly don't need to for him. They kind of got to hold his weight. He's a big boy. He's got some weight on him. We'll weigh him too, just so you know what you're putting on yourself. So you get another point of articulation there. It goes pretty far up, pretty far forward. The foot also, you get a little bit of articulation there. Not too much, but you can make him a little bit of tippy toe or not. So that's kind of the articulation. There's not too much on him, but I don't know. This guy is just all about the space on the shelf. Look at his stance. I love it. He's like a gator wrestler. I love it. If you can't tell, I really do like this figure. All right, so back to the jacket I was going to show you. So, Mr. Crocodile Dundee here, which, you know, they call him Crocker, but it looks like a gator head. Sound off in the comment section what you think. That looks like a gator head. I'm not gonna argue. I know I'm probably wrong, but I do live in Florida. So to get his vest on, kind of like how a person puts on your vest, sort of. Except he's not putting it on himself. So you just want to kind of get it on there. We got one side. Now we're gonna get the other side. There we go. Yeah, that'll work too. Just take his hand off. Hook that on there. Alright, we'll put his hand back together. Get on there. Alright. So now Mr. Wilderness Crocker has his vest. Got him looking good again. Let's make him look more intimidating. There we go. I like his hat. Got his little hat on there. And there we go. Now he's looking good. He looks like a Floridian. Alright, so there are some more accessories here. You'll notice there's another little hole here. That is for this. This is for to sheath his knife. So let me go ahead and get the knife out. You'll notice it's a little wider on one side, a little thinner on the other. That's how you know which way to put it. It's very awkward to put it any other way, but there is. Granted, it's not metal, it is rubber or plastic, whatever it is. It's very soft. If you wanted to take the shackles off, you could hang them from here because it actually plugs right into his booty, or I should say right above it. Am I going upside down? Probably am. There we go. I just feel like it would look better the other way, right? It comes out way too easy that way, so I guess we're going to have to put it in this way. Alright, so put it in like that, and the blade will go up like this, or you can put it across. I think it looks better having that buckle right there, so put it near the buckle. That looks good. I wonder if it'll go in better if I put something a little bit more firm on there. No, because you'll see here, it's kind of in one corner, sort of. And because of the way his tail is, it doesn't really want to go in that way. So it seems like it goes in best this way. I could be wrong. I might be missing something. I'm not exactly an expert, or I didn't exactly design this guy, but that's what works for me right now. Next up on the accessories is his shotgun sheath. When you get it, it's going to have these little cloth pieces tucked inside, so I just popped them out. And all you're going to do is just fish it through like this. You want it to go around him, of course, so I just want to show this here. Fish that through there. Fish it back down through here. I know I say it's easy, but my big clumsy hands don't necessarily agree with it. So we will cheat. And yes, I poked the cloth a little bit. I poked the end of the knife through there, so be careful if you need it to be perfect. If it's a little raggedy, I think it kind of adds to it, because, I mean, look at that vest. It's a very well worn vest. Alright, so we're going to put this around his shoulder. Put it around like that. And looking at it, you've got a little fold over piece there, so I think just for aesthetics, I want it to go like this. Alright, so once you get that on there, you want to cinch it down. So just take the part that you fed through and just tighten it up. If you've ever put on like a tactical vest or anything like that, you kind of know how that works. Just cinch it down. There we go. It doesn't have to be too tight. And then his shotty. I'm going to take it out of there. Drop it right in there. There we go. Good fit. Now he's got his shotgun. He's got his vest. He's got his Bowie knife. He is ready to hunt. As if he even needed any of that. Put his hat back on, because he cannot be without his hat. So there we go. That is the Wilderness Crocker in a nutshell. So I've already got some figures on the side here, but I'm going to pull some other figures out so you can kind of get an idea of what he looks like compared to some other figures. So I'll be right back. Alright, so one thing I forgot to do was actually show you. I said I was going to weigh him, and I didn't. So let's go ahead and weigh him. I have my scale. He's got all of his accessories on him. Let's see if I can get him to stand up. Alright, he's on the scale. You're looking at 1 pound, 15.1 ounces. So he basically weighs 2 pounds. So that way you kind of have an idea of what you're looking at if you're going to put him on yourself. So the shelf has a weight limit. Keep in mind, he's a 2-pounder. Alright, I said I was going to do some comparisons. So here we are. Here is Mythic Legion's Fetus compared to him. Significantly smaller. You've seen these guys in backgrounds all the time. This is FuRay Planet. They all just look itty bitty compared to him. Who else would be there? Let's do a G.I. Joe figure. So the G.I. Joes are going to be itty bitty compared to him. Let's do an action force. So the most recent Delta Trooper. He compares a little bit better. It'd be pretty good to have them like as a containment team for him. So I think that would be pretty cool. Let's do one of the Mythic Legion's skeletons. So you have an idea there, kind of the height difference. Compares okay, I'd say though. Let's try a Storm Collectible skeleton. So this is my custom Roman one I made. Yeah, no, I really put a lot of work into it. All I did was just add a bunch of stuff to the normal Storm Collectible skeleton, but I think it came out cool. So that gives you an idea what it looks like compared to that. Kind of running out of things to compare here. Let's do some Joy Toy. So if I did the Skeleton Forces guy on his ATV, you could have it out that they're, I don't know, maybe going after him because they're in their little buggy. Let me move the camera back.
messier. So that gives you an idea how he looks compared to him. So they could be going after like a giant guy there. Bolt of San Reja comes up to maybe his waist. So it'll be like a kaiju monster for them. Let's see what else. Ooh, Acid Rain. Little Spitfire bot. We use this like containment. Here's a Joy Toy one. Let's also show a couple other items. So if you wanted to do Thunderlings with them, kind of hanging out, maybe they ride them around or something. Thunderlings scale, I think, decently to him. They look appropriate. And then if you wanted to have him fight something close to his size, you can break out the Joy Toy Venerable Dreadnoughts. And that's actually a pretty good comparison. It looks like these two are about to duke it out. But yeah, just some nice little size comparisons I thought you might like.
If you're interested in learning more about the channel, feel free to follow me on my Instagram and Facebook social medias. Here you can find more about what's going on in my personal life, as well as behind the scenes from the channel. If you are interested in the gaming content, I do stream to Twitch before I upload any of the gaming content to YouTube. And if you wanted to follow me on Twitter, any contests I enter, I put my friends' links in there, so we can both get some bonus entries off of that.